everyone, and welcome back to the other side, and welcome to day 2 of my Valentine's Day videos. So like I said, I wanted to add more to this background, so I've added this heart-shaped wreath with a arrow through the middle of it, and then I also added this hanging sign which says "Be mine, hug me," and cute stuff. So I just added those to the set, so I hope you like it, or the background. I don't really know what to call it, but it's more of a background than a set, like I said in yesterday's video. So I don't know why I keep calling it a set, because it's not. But anyway, so as you guys can see, I'm wearing a new shirt. You haven't really seen this shirt before. Sorry, I was choking on some spit. But yeah, you guys haven't really seen this shirt before. I have had this shirt for a very long time, and I thought it would just really go with this whole theme. So it's like a tie-dye shirt. It's got Minnie Mouse on it, and I thought it would go with my ears. Like, if I was at Disney right now, at Disneyland or Disney World, I would just like fit in. So I want to go back to Disneyland so much. I miss it. Like, this year will be 6 years since I went to America, which is crazy. And like, Disneyland is like my most favorite place in the entire world. So I definitely want to go back there one day. So I don't know how that came about, but I guess because I'm just wearing a Minnie Mouse shirt and I've got my Mickey ears on. So but anyway, today I'm reading you guys another story, and this story is called Psycho. And sorry I don't have my pink phone case. I have my boring battery case on because my battery was running low on my phone, so I needed to charge it. So but anyway, so today's story is called Psycho, and this is how it goes. So The Psycho is a scary story about a girl who starts dating a new guy. Her friends tell her there is something wrong with him, but she ignores their warnings. Alright, my name is Dasha, and I want to tell you a story about my last boyfriend. We met at university. We accidentally bumped into each other in the hallway. He asked me to go for coffee with him, and I agreed. He told me his name was Norman. We talked about this and that. He was handsome and witty. I was very attracted to him. Before long, we were dating. Norman was very sensitive and caring, not like my previous boyfriends. It was like he was from another planet. He was always interested in what I wanted, always concerned about my needs, but at the same time, he was very masculine. I felt safe with him. Everything was fine at first. It was my friend's birthday and our whole group gathered in a bar to celebrate. I was excited because I brought Norman and I wanted to introduce him to everyone. Sitting at the table, we were having fun, drinking and laughing. Then some of the guys went outside to smoke and Norman went with them. They were gone for 5 minutes, and when they returned, I was approached by my friend Simon. "Dasha, I think there's something wrong with this Norman guy," he said. "What do you mean?" I asked. "Well, he's kind of strange. He started talking about his mother, saying really weird things. Then he started giggling like an idiot for no reason. He's not normal." Norman, not normal. Are you sure?" I said. Of course, I spoke with Norman about it, but he denied everything. He said my guy friends were just jealous of our relationship and they were trying to drive a wedge between us. I believed him, especially since Simon had asked me out on a date one time and I had to turn him down. It was possible that he just wanted to turn me against Norman and get rid of his competition. But the more time I spent with Norman, the more I started to notice some strange behaviors. Sometimes he would go silent for a few minutes, and then he would start talking again as if nothing happened. And he began to call me mummy. Oh my god, that is so creepy. I put up with his little eccentrics because everything else in the relationship was wonderful. And then something happened. It was like a bolt from the blue. One day he kidnapped me. Oh my god. We were at my house and my parents were out. I went upstairs to get something, and all of a sudden I felt him grab me from behind and put a handkerchief over my mouth and over my nose and mouth. It was soaked with some kind of chemical. Within seconds, I blacked out. When I woke up, I was in some shabby apartment with a dirty rag stuffed in my mouth. My arms and legs were tied to the bed and I had a terrible headache. Norman came in. He put his finger to my lips and pulled the rag from my mouth. I immediately screamed and Norman slapped me across the face really hard. "Don't you dare cry," he growled. "My mother never cried, okay?" And he untied my hands and gave me a withering look. He told me that if I tried to run away, things would only get worse. Norman took me into the kitchen and sat me down at the table. He put out a plate of food in front of me and told me to eat. All this time, he did not take his eyes off of me for a second. So I just did as I was told. When I looked into Norman's eyes, I could see he was a complete psycho. How could I have not seen this in him before? He smiled at me as if everything was normal. "How are things at work, Mummy?" he asked. I had no other choice but to play along with him. "All good," I replied. "So we'll go on a holiday together next week?" "Of course," I mumbled. "Oh, by the way, someone told me you have a new man in your life, Mummy." "That's not true. You wouldn't do that to me, would you, Mummy?" I saw how angrily he was staring at me. "No," I replied. "Well, now I knew it wasn't true," he grinned. "We don't need anybody else. We're happy together, just me and you." After I finished eating, he took me into the bedroom and forced me into the bed. He tied my hands and put a gag in my mouth and left. Put a gag? Is that supposed to say rag? I'm pretty sure. This was how my nightmare began. Sometimes Norman remained with me for a long time, telling me things we were going, how things were going in college. He always called me Mum or Mummy. Sorry, it's like spelled the American way, so which is like mom or mummy. I don't know. It's weird. So we spell mum here in Australia M-U-M, so it's just like, okay, you get the idea. I went along with it because I was afraid of what he might do if I resisted. If I made one mistake, he would beat me terribly. I was stuck in that dingy apartment for 6 whole days. My room was always locked and there was no clock, so I had to guess what time it was. Norman would come and go. I don't know where he got the money, but he always brought me food and sweets. He said, "I love my mother and I want to make her happy. A boy's best friend is his mother." I knew that this couldn't go on. My parents and my friends were probably worried sick. I wondered if they had contacted the police already. I wondered if anyone was looking for me. One time I tried to reason with him. I tried to explain that I was not his mother and he needed to let me go, but he beat me like crazy. On the 6th day, Norman woke me up as usual and told me he was going out to buy us breakfast. I heard the front door close and I started trying to free myself. I felt that I could move my right hand a little. The ropes were not very tight. It took about 20 minutes, but I managed to work it free. I quickly untied myself and rushed to the door, but of course it was firmly locked. I looked outside the window. I was on the 5th floor. I grabbed a chair and threw it at the window. With a loud crash, the glass broke and the chair landed on the pavement outside, almost hitting some passers-by. I leaned out the window. I screamed at the top of my lungs, "Help me, he's going to kill me, he's a psycho." And then I saw him. Norman was standing in the street with a bag in his hand, glaring up at me. By the look in his eyes, I knew the only thing he wanted now was to kill me. People were gathering around the window, so my crazy boyfriend just turned and ran off. 10 minutes later, a police car arrived. The officers broke down the door and rescued me. I will never forget the look in my parents' eyes when they took me home. I spent the rest of the night weeping uncontrollably. It turned out that the police were already looking for Norman. He was on the run from the authorities long before he met me. He was wanted for a double murder. His name wasn't even Norman, it was Ed, and he was actually 30 years old. He had a history of mental illness and had been in and out of insane asylums for most of his life. 2 years before, he had been living with his mother. He was completely obsessed with her. His mother was dating a man and she brought him home with her one night. When Norman caught them together, he flew into a violent rage. He beat them both of them to death with a hammer and then just disappeared. I hope the police will find him soon, because until they do, I'm too scared to leave my house. If you want my advice, be careful who you date. So that is the end of the story. So I was starting to lose my voice by the end of that because I just filmed yesterday's video as well, so I've been talking a lot. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this story. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe, and tomorrow is the last day. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day, so tomorrow there won't be a story. It's just gonna be a super chilled video. I'm gonna buy myself a thing like of chocolate and just like eat it with you guys, although I can't eat it with you because you won't be there, but I'll just eat it, and it will just be a really super chilled video for Valentine's Day. So yeah, I'm just super excited for tomorrow, even though like I am not filming this in February. I'm filming this in January, but I won't be here for Valentine's Day. I'll be somewhere in Victoria, so that's why I'm pre-filming all these videos. So yeah, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video and the story, and I will see you all tomorrow for Valentine's Day. Alright, bye guys.